Hi guys, it's Han here. Today we are going to check out the Mazda CX-50 2.5 Turbo Meridian Edition, thanks to friends' help. Thanks for subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing, and lighting up the little bell. To this day, no matter in which field, everyone likes products with more features. That also works in the auto industry. Previously, everyone likes the design of their cars to be more subtle. The design was always relatively mediocre in auto design. Even a more hardcore off-road vehicle, which was designed as not much different from other products. However, everything has changed today. Small car, a sedan. Even if it is not a sport car, it also has to have the appearance of sport style. Same thing to SUV product. Even if it is not a hardcore off-roader, it also has an omnipotent hardcore image among sand, mud, and rocks. There is a trim called Meridian Edition in Mazda CX-50 lineup at the beginning of the product's launch, which image is a little bit different with others. Compared to other trims look like fed in cage. The Meridian Edition just like cage-free. There are 8 trims in 2024 Mazda CX-50. This Meridian Edition is considered a low trim presence in the 2.5T model, and the configuration is not too high. Today we are going to check out the differences between the 2024 Meridian Edition and the 2023 model and other trims. The one here is the test vehicle I've drove. 2024 CX-50 Meridian Edition with 2.5L turbocharged engine with 6-speed automatic transmission. 4-wheel drive with premium gas can give maximum 256 horsepower and 320 pounds-feet torque. McPherson strut front and torsion beam rear suspension. Overall dimensions of this Meridian Edition has no difference with other trims according official. The minimum ground clearance of Meridian Edition is 8.5 inches. The curb weight is 3,913 pounds. Maximum towing capacity is 3,500 pounds. Comes with 15.9-gallon fuel tank. In combined condition, it can run 25 miles and 1-gallon gas to EPA number. Equipped with two 25/60R18 wheels coming with 4 all-terrain tires. Equipped with panoramic sunroof, leather seats, power adjustable front 2 seats with driver's seat memory, 8 speakers audio, 10 25-inch central screen, whole car with LED light source. The engine and transmission come from a Japan plant and assembled in a US plant. This color of this car often appear in various Mazda commercials, and you probably have seen it more often. There are some stickers on the front cabin cover, black stickers. There are 2 stickers here and the middle sticker is larger, CX-50, written in black letters on a black background. And word Meridian Edition here, which are only clear to see under certain lighting. The design of the lamp unit is not much different from other trims. The design with a small eave here is also new design of Mazda family. The element in the middle of the grille is made of pure black plastic, and there is no bumper platform protruding from the front. The upper and lower edges of the middle grille are actually the most protruding parts in the front. There is an exaggerated air guide hole designed on both left and right sides, which looks fake but both are real. Below bumper position, the design is relatively complex. The overlay of materials is also relatively complex. A turn signal light strip is designed on both sides. Look from side, body itself is same as other trims. The designer worked hard to add some exaggerated accessories. The lines on the side are relatively simple in design. There is a fattening effect on the front and rear wheel arch respectively. If you look at it from above, it is wider at both the front and back and a little bit narrower in middle. The same design lines have also been copied to the family's flagship model CX-90. It shows a touch of tough guy image through some accessories and add-on parts. The car also has a rather exaggerated large luggage rack. The luggage rack, if you really need it, it's useful. If you don't, it's just for looks. But it does affect driving feeling. We'll talk about it in a minute, as the side of this car does not have the chrome decoration cancelled just because it has a sporty appearance. Chrome color decoration on the side, but mainly black color decoration. The edges of the 4 wheel arches has a very thick and exaggerated black plastic for decoration. The lower edge of the body is also decorated with black plastic. The opening angles of the 4 doors are very large. We have checked them out before, especially the rear door opening angle is very large. I'm so excited when I film the door with a very large opening angle, because it is very convenient to film. So CX-50 and Honda CR-V, which has a larger opening angle of rear door, when we have the opportunity we will compare them. Single layer glass for 4 windows at this level. There is no double glass. The door is designed to cover the lower edge of the car body. This is good. When the door is closed, we can easily see the metal parts on door frame from inside. No plastic wrap, which we saw many times before. No matter which side you look at this car from, the most eye-catching part is these four wheels. First, there are four very off-road AT tires. AT tires seem a bit exaggerated on this car, coupled with an exaggerated wheel. The wheels adopt both black and metallic color scheme, and everyone has different opinions on whether they look good or not, but personally I still prefer a more simple design. According to my aesthetics, Mazda can do better on this wheel. Looking inside through the 18-inch wheel, the front brake disc is a ventilated disc with a diameter of 12.8 inches. The rear brake disc is a solid disc with a diameter of 12.8 inches. This brake systems are both the same, no matter 2.5 or 2.5 turbo model. There is no more decoration on the rear part. Above is a small rear wing integrated with a high-mounted brake light, and there are door frame aerodynamic kits on both sides. The split rear wiper does not adopt a hidden design. The shape of the left and right taillight echoes the shape of the front light group. There is a shape on the left and right here which echoes the two designs on the front, but the rear part is blocked. There is a bumper platform design at the back that is not too protruding. There are two exhausts below, one in each side with form of straight out. In Meridian edition, there is no parking sensor in back, neither in front. Mazda family key. The buttons are placed on the side. This car has a power tailgate. After opening the trunk, we can see that there is no difference between this and other trims or 2023 of CX-50. There are two lights in the entire trunk. One is on the door panel, the other is on the left. Both are very bright, because CX-50 does not have a very strong shape with low front and high rear. We can see the lower edge of the trunk is not very high. The entire depth of the trunk is great, same as we saw before. There are two hooks on the left and two hooks on the right side. Totally 4 hooks in trunk, also hooks points on bottom, which is so nice. Handle for folding down seats. There is a storage under the cover. There is a box here with anti-theft screws as accessory. Handle for folding down seats. Mazda is quite kind. You can recall that we saw so many compact SUVs recently, and even some current luxury brands. There are really not too many models still keep the handles for folding seats in the trunk. Open up the cover, there is a compact spare tire. All Mazda CX-50 series are equipped with compact spare tires as standard, and we have checked here out before. There are foam and cotton in where they should be. It's quite good. After the second row seats are folded down, there is no height difference between second row seat back and the trunk. The transition is still very smooth. Second row seat back has a slight upward slope. We have seen the interior of the new CX-50 many times. Basically, it has been maintained the traditional design style of new Mazda family. There is a screen separately in middle. The screen has a sense of design and is relatively far away from the driver. It's not too tiring to look at when driving, because the Meridian is positioned as a 2.5T model. Slightly lower trim, we see the configuration inside is not very rich. All 4 windows have one-button auto function. Mazda still placed the seat memory button on the left of steering wheel on center console. As this Meridian edition, it has no heads-up display. Dashboard is also common parts from Mazda family. In the middle is an LCD screen. 2 entity tables on both sides. The LCD screen in the middle can be adjusted by debuggable, displayable, and interactive projects are not very complex at all. I still hope Mazda can transfer the common part of the LCD screen on the CX-90 to other series as soon as possible. The steering wheel is also a unified style of the family. New universal part in family. 3-frame shape with airbag in the middle are relatively small designed. Steering wheel is moderately thick. The stitching is more detailed and the leather is also more delicate. There are 2 paddle shifters behind the steering wheel, too small. The light set has automatic on and off and automatic high beam function. The front windshield wipers have automatic sensing function. Auto dimming rearview mirror. 3 garage switch, glasses case. The glasses case is of medium size and does not have a panoramic mirror. These 2 shade on the front of Mazda. The area covered is quite large and very old school with an extended panel. The screen in the middle, it is also a common part of the Mazda family. Even though it is relatively new in the family, but in today's auto world, it is not considered advanced. The entire screen with black background color. Display clarity is very average. This screen is a touch screen only in CarPlay app. In other cases, the screen can only be adjusted via the controls below. I really don't get the point of Mazda's design logic. This car only has 1 reversing camera. There is no panoramic views and no front or rear parking sensor. Dual zone air conditioning. The front 2 seats only have heating function. There is no ventilation function. The lower part is exposed, only one 12V charger socket. Below is the storage. 3 driving modes. One is sport mode, normal mode, off-road mode. Armrest box opens to left and right. After opening, the space inside is moderate. There are 2 USB ports inside. We don't see any Type-C port inside so far. We have checked out some trims since new Mazda CX-50 first launched on 2023 model. I didn't see any difference between 24 and the 23 model through the official release. It just says convenience and comfort of riding have been improved. According to my observation from the first row, I don't feel any difference compared with Model 23. As this Meridian edition, its exterior design is relatively flamboyant, but I don't feel that the interior has any difference from other trims. As we know, Meridian edition is just a middle trim in family. It's not a high-end trim. The interior color is light colored on the roof. The center console and steering wheel are both black. The color used for the seats, door handles, and central armrest box is between orange and brown, which looks quite pretty. I like it so much. We can see the seats are still the style of the Mazda CX-50 family. There seems to be no difference with others. Both the chair surface and back look thicker, some patterns on them. Adjustment of the driver's seat is a traditional item with 2 memory positions. The lumbar support is in 2 directions. The passenger seat is also power adjusted, but no lumbar adjustment or memory. Still the same problem I felt it before, this chair cushion. It would be nice if it could be longer, or it would be better to have a manual extension. The cushion is high enough, but not enough long. My legs are short, it's just right to my legs. So, if you have long legs and wants to buy this car, I suggest you give it a try first. The material is made of soft one, lower decorative strip. On top of this is the leather. It's better done. Below is just plastic. On door panels out soft material, decorative strip. Leather. The armrest is whole leather. Further down is the black plastic. Where the center console legs can touch are all black plastic too. I still have the same problem when I sit in this car. In order to maximize the space in the car, Mazda made the longitudinal distance of the center console relatively short, so that the mirrors are designed to be relatively close to the driver. So when you're driving looking left and right at the mirrors, the swing of the head is relatively large. We have talked about it before. Sitting in the second row, I still don't feel any difference between 24 and 23 model. Maybe the so-called improvement in comfort and convenience can only be understood after driving it. As Meridian edition, its configuration can only be said to be adequate, not too much. Second row has a heightened theater-like effect, which is line of sight is slightly higher than in first row. You can see the space in the second row. When I sit up straight, there is no problem with headspace. The back of this seat is flush with the B-pillar, and there is no problem with legroom. The seats in the second row are still okay. We have checked it out before, we can see it through the video. Even if you don't sit down, this seat feels like this cozy sofa. When you sit inside, you feel like you are sinking in. The padding material of the second row seats is softer than that of the first row. Look at the headrests of the second row. I feel that the design is more careful. Second row configuration, it has a big sunroof, curtain open up to here. There are 2 air conditioning vents placed behind the center armrest box. There are 2 USB charging ports below. The bulge of the central floor is still relatively high. There is a light on the rear armrest, used as both lighting and reading lamp. The pocket in seat back still has one on the right side, not on the left. The height of the armrest is also better designed, can lean on it naturally. 2 cup holders. Door panel eye top is black hard plastic. There is some leather material in the middle. Bottom is also made of black plastic. The storage space on the door panel is quite large. According to the official announcement, the only change for it is wheels. Added some external accessories. There is no change on mechanical performance and parameter adjustment. In terms of power, it feels the same as the previous 23 models and other trims of CX-50. 2.5 liters plus a turbo are more than enough to drive an SUV of this level. I've talked a lot about the power system of this car before, so I won't go into details today. This car is equipped with 4 all-terrain tires, which has a relatively large impact on the driving experience. It is somewhat different from other trims of CX-50. First thing, if we go to the wild for off-road, this set of tires is undoubtedly very effective because it is not aimed at off-roading or for deep travel. Make some mechanical preparations. Presumably there is limited improvement in off-road performance. So if you use this set of tires to drive on well-done roads, I think 100% is not as good or comfortable as common road tires. if the speed driving lower than 20 miles per hour, you will feel it clearly that the pattern of the tire intimate touch the road. There will be a certain feeling of vibration in the car. At the same time, I feel that the steering of the vehicle is relatively clumsy, not as precise and flexible as the ordinary tire version. Driving on the highway, it's not as good as ordinary tires at all. When cornering, it is not so confident as ordinary tire version. Subconsciously, I started to slow down in advance. After running on the highway, I feel the tire noise is quite loud. From these aspects, if you don't really need it, try not to choose this kind of all-terrain tires. It looks really good looking and quite domineering. But 1 is uncomfortable. 2 is what you often hear the sound of money rubbing against the road. It says driving comfort of this 24 model got some improvement to official. In this Meridian edition, when passing through a pit, ditch, or railway crossing, it seemed to feel the vibration amplitude of the rear suspension is not that big. The number of tremors is not that much. The overall road feel of the vehicle is not as hard as the previous vehicle tested, but I deeply feel that these should be attributed to all-terrain tires with thicker sidewalls and deeper tire patterns. I don't think Mazda has optimized the rear suspension, so I still reserve my opinion on this for now. I hope to be able to borrow another version of the 2024 product as soon as possible. Let's feel it again. To what extent does the manufacturer claim to have improved comfort? The feeling of braking on this car is obviously not as good as the other trims. CX-50. The brake pedal is also relatively tight. As soon as you put your foot on the brake pedal, there will be a reaction. There is no gap at all, but I feel it when I brake suddenly, or hit the brakes hard. The point where the brakes are tight is relatively deep, basically 1/3 to half of the journey. The CX-50 brakes I have experienced before are relatively awesome. It really surprised me this time. I haven't found any change for Meridian Edition's brake system after checking out all Mazda's official information online. Then I'm afraid the blame will have to be thrown on these 4 AT tires again. There is also the particularly exaggerated luggage rack of this car. In this kind, a very exaggerated luggage rack looks really and a bit masculine. But what I advise is if you don't have any true need not to install that exaggerated luggage rack like this, even if you just need it, take it off as soon as you're done using it. The wind noise caused by this exaggerated luggage rack is really unacceptable when the speed of car is higher than 60 miles per hour. It's like there's a helicopter on top of your car, hovering there to escort you. A helicopter above, 4 large AT tires below, up and down work together. You won't be able to hear any good audios at all, and this Meridian edition is just equipped to common audio without satellite radio. Maybe even if it was equipped, you won't be able to hear clearly. As the cause of a luggage rack up and 4 AT tires below, MPG should be worse a little bit. But the combined fuel consumption of this is same with other trims. Maybe I'm wrong about this. To sum up, this is the 24 model Meridian edition of CX-50 Experience video. Overall feeling I can't tell any difference between others. According to the official, its ride comfort has been improved to some extent. But I didn't feel it more. Then I only feel the subtle differences. I still don't know if it's the difference between 24 and 23, or it's this trim has an all-terrain tire that makes the difference. So in terms of this car, its appearance design, it is more flamboyant than other trims of CX-50. Maybe just the appearance cause of its mechanical properties. Off-road performance have not been improved at all. So don't drive this kind of SUV to off-road condition. A slightly more intense crossing, it may not work. Even the off-road looking trim. Then if you are driving on the highway, it's not as comfortable to drive as the regular trims. So flexible in operation, especially these 4 big tires, it feels a bit distressing to driving it on the road. If you want to buy a CX-50, and the roads we drive on are mostly paved roads, I don't think this version is really necessary. Unless you really like the pretty look. That's another story for the appearance. Also the same words. Buy whichever one you like. Don't control, don't be shy. Thank you for the above video.